horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, it's time to do my recap off of last night's pretty exciting Survivor Series. Now, overall, the show was pretty decent. It was booked very well. I like all the matches. Mostly everyone put on mostly every match was compelling and interesting. Had some nice spots in there. And I actually liked the last two main events. First of all, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. That was a pretty good, intense, and physical matchup. And I definitely liked the main event between Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. That was a pretty good match, too. Especially, I think a lot of people ought to give Brock Lesnar a lot of credit. I'll talk about that match in every individual match over. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good Survivor Series. Not better than last year's, but definitely overall pretty good show. But let's get on to see how well I did or didn't do. Now, the first match was the kickoff show, which unfortunately that happens sometimes with these pay-per-views. It actually was the tag team elimination between SmackDown and Raw. I actually picked the Raw team to win, but SmackDown actually won. I think the last team was eliminated when just give me a second here. Who eliminated who? Give me a second here because I'm looking at the last was eliminated. The Revival eliminated Jimmy Russo for the Team SmackDown to no, actually no. Just give me a second here. I think it was Jimmy Uso eliminated the Revival, and they won. The Team SmackDown won it, but I actually picked Team Raw, so I'm down 0-1. For the traditional 5-on-5 Team Raw Women's Division, we had a little change here. Apparently, Natalya and Ruby Riott got into some mix, or something happened, and Alexa Bliss kicked Natalya and Ruby Riott off of the team, replaced them with Bayley and Sasha Banks. So we have Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamia, Bayley, and Sasha Banks, along with Alexa Bliss, against Naomi, Carmella, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and Mandy Rose, who took over Charlotte's spot. This started off pretty well. We had some nice spots between both members. I'll get this right. I think they had some nice spots in there. I like the fact that a lot of the audience were booing the hell out of Nia Jax, and the WWE decided to run with it as they now booked Nia Jax as the Supreme heel because it was her right fist that unfortunately broke Becky Lynch's nose. So she's a superhero now, and they really did it off. Everything started going well for Team SmackDown, and we also had a nice little spot where Nia Jax pushed Sasha Banks off of the ropes, and she fell to the Asuka lock. And then Nia Jax just came in there and just simply destroyed Asuka to become the sole survivor, much to the chagrin of the audience as they booed relentlessly. But hey, look, if you're going to get heat accidentally, you might as well roll with it. So you got to give Vince and the creative team credit to go on ahead and take advantage of that. So I actually picked Team Raw, so now I am 1-1 for the night. Now we have Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion on Raw, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States Champion on SmackDown. And after a slow start, these two started picking up nice spots in the way. Was very good, had some near falls. Nakamura got a nice stiff Kurosawa on Seth Rollins, but he kicked out of the way. He eventually got the stump and got the pin, and Seth Rollins wins the matchup. It was a pretty good matchup. Unfortunately, I did pick Nakamura to win that match, so now I'm down 1-2. For the battle of the tag team champions between the brands, we have the Authors of Pain, APO, Akeem, and Razor, with Drake Maverick, along with the Bar, the Cesaro, and Sheamus, along with the Big Show. Now, I don't know if anyone saw this or not last night, but there was a guy in the audience who was dressed in a hood. If you didn't recognize him, that was Enzo Amore. He was there in the front row. Now, of course, everyone knows he was fired from the WWE after, unfortunately, allegations of rape. He was clear of all the charges, by the way. So, but unfortunately, he was there. He tried to take advantage of try to get back into the spotlight wherever he was trying to do. He was quickly escorted out by security. Now, I don't know if this was planned or not. I don't know what the WWE is going to do with him. If they're going to take him back since he was clear of the charges, or they're just going to say, "Hey, look, you were accused something very, very vicious and very, very offensive, and we don't want that in our locker room." So I don't know if they'll take him back or not, but I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was kind of crazy for him to be there. This was an interesting matchup, but for some reason, and I guess they thought this was supposed to be funny, Drake starts running into the ring when he does something, and he gets caught by the Big Show. The Big Show takes him in his hand, pulls him up, and you could tell that he was trying to move some equipment in his pants to make it look like he pissed himself. And it just ended badly. I guess they were trying to do some comedy routine, but it ended badly. But the authors of pain took advantage of that, and they did their finishing maneuver, and they won the matchup. But unfortunately, I picked the bar, so that dropped me down to 1-3, which I'm not having a particularly good night. For the Cruiserweight Championship, we have the defending champion Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. Now, this was an exciting matchup. We have those guys. They really gave it their all last night with some exciting spots. There was one time where Mustafa Ali literally ran up and did a Spanish fly off of I think it was the Spanish announcer's table, or maybe SmackDown's the Spanish table. Did a Spanish fly right onto the concrete floor, which was an excellent spot. But eventually, Buddy Murphy was able to get the win when he did the Murphy's Law on Mustafa, and he won the matchup to retain his championship. I picked him to win because I figured he was deserving to win. And now I'm back up 2-3. Yay me! Now it's the men's turn for the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. We have Team Raw with its Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley, with Baron Corbin and Low Rush, whatever this guy's name is, going against Team SmackDown with The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy. This was another pretty good, exciting matchup. Braun Strowman, I think he eliminated everybody. He eliminates everybody, and Team Raw wins the matchup, by the way. Once again, Shane McMahon just does daredevil things. He really puts his body on the line. He did a elbow off the top rope on Strong Roman against I guess, one of the announcers table. Then he did a coast to coast, which he's known to do all the time, on Dolph Ziggler. I think he did that twice. And you got to give Shane credit. He just really puts his body up on the line. And I remember the first time when he did that coast to coast thing. I forgot what match he won. I was like, man, this dude just. But he's known to do that, and even at his age, he's still known to do that. Even when he was younger, he was smaller, and before now that he's a little older, he's gotten a little bigger. But he really knows how to do daredevil stunts. He really put his body on the line. So you got to give Shane McMahon credit. But Team Raw won, which was kind of funny because after they win, they left Strowman up in the middle of the ring all by himself. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen on Raw tonight. Since I did pick Team Raw, that makes me even at 3-3. And now we get to the two big main events of the night. First one was Ronda Rousey, the women's champion from Raw, versus Charlotte Flair, the replacement for Becky Lynch for SmackDown. Now, this was a very physical, very excellent but physical matchup. Charlotte Flair took her size and her experience to her advantage, and she was able to counter almost every time when Ronda Rousey would try to get the advantage or try to put the armbar. There were some incredible spots, and it was a very physical matchup. But the match ended when Charlotte Flair took a kendo stick and hit Ronda Rousey with it, and she won by disqualification. But that was just the beginning. After the match was over, Charlotte Flair just took a whole bunch of kendo sticks and started beating the shit out of Ronda. I mean, those was some stiff shots. I mean, she just really beat the crap out of her with kendo sticks. And you put her back in the ring, started beating up on her some more with some kendo sticks, broke the sticks 3 times. You could see the welts and marks all over Ronda Rousey's face. And she wasn't even done yet. Then she got a steel chair, started beating with the steel chair. The refs came out. They couldn't do anything with her. They finally got her out. Charlotte Flair came back in the ring and gave her a natural selection right on the steel chair. Took the steel chair, put it in between her face, and stomped the chair with it. She just really went off. And I know a lot of people still don't like Ronda Rousey. They still think she didn't come up through the ranks. Because I know Gory said this on Danny's channel. And she said that no, she didn't come up through the ranks like mostly all the women did, so they don't think that she deserves the accolades that she's getting right now, and she doesn't deserve to have the title. And I can understand that, and I happen to agree. You would think that they would probably at least let her come through the ranks that way, but because of her celebrity and because of her, I guess because of what she did for UFC, they felt as though they didn't have to. So I guess it's the reason why they did it this way. But I gotta give her credit because she took a nasty beatdown. I mean, that was that was not easy to get hit with kendo sticks, well, fake or not. And you gotta give her credit. I mean, she was black and blue all over the place, and she stood tall. She walked out the room. She required no assistance. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be interesting what she's going to say tonight on Raw. But my question is, where does this leave Becky Lynch? By far, Becky Lynch is the most over superstar in the WWE, male or female. I mean, she will probably get cheered to death on SmackDown tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. And I feel sorry for the fact that, she missed the matchup. And I'm pretty sure that this matchup that we saw last night, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rematch, will probably carry all the way over to next year's WrestleMania. But where does this leave Becky Lynch? Are we going to have a triple threat matchup, or that tremendous feud that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair is going to be over now that Charlotte's supposed to going to be a bad girl again? I don't know where the WWE is going to go with, but the WWE universe and wrestling fans of us like elect are simply going to sit back and enjoy, because I'm pretty sure whatever they're going to do with these 3 ladies, I'm pretty sure we're going to get some fascinating wrestling matches, especially once Ronda Rousey starts getting better in her in-ring performance. Not saying that she didn't do bad last night. I'm pretty sure that she can do very well, because I like some of the hip toss she did to Flair, despite her little size and Flair's length. But I'm willing to see what's going to happen. But I said again, that was an interesting matchup. It was a nice matchup, very physical matchup. And both ladies deserve credit for what the show they put on last night. Oh, by the way, I did pick Ronda Rousey to win, even though she did win by disqualification. So that leaves me to 4-3. And now, the main event, we have Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion from Raw, versus the newly bad guy, Daniel Bryan, the newly crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, the match began like everyone predicted, purely squash match. Brock Lesnar was throwing him like a rag doll. I mean, German suplex after German suplex, bear hugs. There were a couple of times when Daniel Bryan landed on his head, and it's like, oh man, don't tell me he's going to get another concussion. It looks like the match was going to be over, but it wasn't. A couple of kicks to the head that Daniel Bryan gets. Then when Brock Lesnar got pissed off and decided to do an F5, but he hit the referee, and Bryan did what he did to AJ Styles. He kicked him in the nuts. Kicked him in the nuts. Almost got the 3 count after doing a running knee. Everyone thought it was going to be a huge upset, but no. But then Daniel Bryan, it would seem like the fans were going back and forth between heel Daniel Bryan and good guy Daniel Bryan. He started doing his yes kicks. Really did a lot of damage to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doing a pretty good job selling some of the things that Daniel Bryan was doing. He actually got him into the yes lock after he tried to do another F5 and his knee gave out. But eventually, Brock Lesnar won the matchup after getting out of 2 yes locks and going into the F5, which he won the matchup. It was a very exciting matchup. You really got to give Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar a lot of credit because Brock Lesnar, who a lot of people don't like, he's not known to sell or sell out for another guy, but he really did make Daniel Bryan look good. And that's the whole purpose because you don't want to make a guy who just won the championship look bad in a major pay-per-view event. That's not how you book the matchup. So I give Brock a lot of credit. I give Daniel a lot of credit. That was an incredible matchup, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, this was a pretty good card. So those are my results. I ended the night 5-3. Not a pretty good match. Not a pretty good matchup. I mean, not a bad at all. But the next pay-per-view will be in December, which we will see TOC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. They already have a match predicted, which will be Seth Rollins will take on Dean Ambrose for the IC title. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I'm pretty sure once they get the rest of the card set up, as we now begin the road up to next year's WrestleMania, because after that we have the Rumble coming up, and that's how everything starts to go for WrestleMania. So that now starts to begin. So my wrestling fans, how did you did last night? If you predicted this card, did you do well? Did you do as good as I did, or did you did not do so well? Leave your comments down in the comments section for how well you did on your predictions for last night's Survivor Series. Well, that's my video for today. I hope you guys love it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it does help the channel out a lot. And once again, this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror and wrestling rules. I'll see you guys later. About peace.